So now we're ready to play our first chord shape. Now the first chord we're going to be doing today is D. So having a look at the chord chart, first finger is the first thing to sort out. Where does that go? It goes on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Now when you put that on, don't put it just in the middle of the fret. Try to go to the higher point of the fret. What I mean by that is there's a low point to a fret, high point to a fret. Middle to high, in other words high is close to you, is the best place for your fingers to go. You'll get a better sound. So put the tip of your finger on there and a little bit of knuckle showing on that will be perfect. 2nd finger, same thing, 2nd fret of the 1st string. That's going to be pushing down pretty close. It should actually be touching that 2nd fret. 3rd finger, 3rd fret, nice and high position, using the tips of your finger, remember. Don't use the flats of your finger. That won't get a chord happening very nicely at all, and it'll bother all the other strings. You'll end up deadening them. Use the tips of the fingers, and that might feel quite uncomfortable to get into that position. It's kind of a weird shape, but if you notice, you look at the shape, you join the dots of your fingers, it actually kind of makes a D. It's a good way to remember it, I find, is just to think about the D chord, think about the shape of that, and you'll generally get a little wee D shape happening on there quite nicely. Now remember, with the D chord we discussed earlier in the chord chart, there's a 0 on the D string. So there's a 0 happening on that string right here on the chart. What that means is we play from the 4th string down. So even though there's no fingers on that string, we play that open string. So let's have a go at strumming that now with our right hand, good technique, strumming from the 4th string down. Just have a listen to that. Now when you first play that, you might actually not have a clean sound. You might get something more like this. Don't be worried about that. Push down as hard as you can. Have your thumb in a good position on above the neck, usually around the 2nd fret and hooked over the top. Don't have it too far behind the neck. That's a classical position and a different position for the guitar. We're playing this style upright, modern style guitar. Thumb on the top of the guitar, fingers pointing, pushing down towards the neck as hard as you can. Play the chord, just strum through the chord, relax your fingers, give them a wee wiggle, and then place them back on there again, one at a time. 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger. Play from the 4th string down. It doesn't matter too much if we hit the string above that when we're strumming, which is this note here. It still should come through nicely. But if we're thinking about aiming for the 4th string down, we should be fine. So let's strum that now with our strumming pattern. Remember the strumming pattern we did earlier? We're going to strum down, down, up, down, down, up. Let's have a go at that. Just like that. Let's do 2 in a row of that, so it's 2 bars. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Okay, that's the D chord. The best way to learn that is to play the chord, push down hard, release the fingers, put your fingers on one at a time again, push down hard, until eventually you can actually place all fingers down together. That's a good way to practice doing the D chord. And then once you've got the chord, you do your strumming pattern. Pretty simple.